Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Danno and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. Oh, guys, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to explain this, but we're going to try. We're going to try and break it down. Some things that we have been noticing in the grocery stores. Looks like prices are going up again, guys. Prices have been skyrocketing in the inner aisles, as we say. We have the holidays here among us, and in between everything else, again, being blinded by the sales of the holidays. And yeah, the sales that you expect are still on sale, not as good as what we saw before Thanksgiving. Hopefully next week is a different story. Now, you know, there were a lot of things at Kroger, which a lot of you guys saw this morning probably, and our shopping vlog video. Thank you to everyone who watched it. And, you know, I didn't go over a lot of the different things that I saw going up in price, but we will probably eventually. There's just so many. There's so many, guys. Coffee continues to go up. The coffees that you would not expect. What's up with the smaller bags of Dunkin' coffee? $11.99 regular price now. I mean, they've been that for a few weeks, but they continue to go up in price. We're seeing a lot of, like, frozen meals that are going up in price. We've seen frozen pizzas that have gone up in price. Ones that were $6.99 are now $7.99. Ones that were $8.99 are now $9.99. I mean, it's just getting absurd. It's getting absurd. It's not just Kroger. It's not just Kroger. We're seeing this at Walmart. We're seeing this at not so much Aldi. I did go to Aldi today, spoiler alert for tomorrow's video, and there were some pretty amazing sales at Aldi. Aldi looks more and more amazing as we continue to see products go up in virtually every other store that I shop at, even Meijer and some other places. But I'll tell you guys, it is just, it's starting to get crazy again. We're seeing soups. We're seeing canned soups go way up in price, a lot higher than we ever expected. I never thought Progresso soup was going to go over $3 a can anymore. It has at $3.19. Now, we've seen where Quaker Instant Oatmeal, which I know is one that a lot of you guys comment on, $3.19 now for the instant oatmeal. $3.19. We had seen where that had come down as low as $2.79 and then went up to $2.99, and I was saying, well, stock up when we see the sale. That's why I was kind of hinting at that last week when they had that sale of the digital coupon. Now it's on sale again this week. As we see the price go up, the sale price is $2.79. So we'll see how long the Kroger brand stays on sale, 3 for $5, meaning that you can get a box for $1.67 of the instant oatmeal. But their regular price is $2, still way cheaper than Quaker. But we're seeing other things go up. I even seen in some of the comments some of the different fruit and stuff that is going up in price, and that's going to cause canned fruit to go up in price. It most certainly will. It has caused the fruit cups by Dole and Kroger brand and a lot of other store brands to go up in price. Now, this, you know, the message stays the same, guys. Buy up the sales when you see them so that you're not left in the dust paying these crazy high prices for things. We always talk about stocking up on sales when you see them within the means of your budget so that you don't end up having to pay these super high prices. Now, I did have to go to Kroger again today. We have an incredible, the weather is going to take a turn, and it's supposed to get really cold, and we're supposed to get some snow. I don't know how much snow we're going to get. I hear a dusting to 3 or 4 inches, so who knows? The problem is that it's going to be very cold, and it's going to all turn into ice. So hopefully they can keep the roads clear for that. I think Sunday is going to be a high of 12 degrees. And I think it's supposed to be 3 degrees Fahrenheit. 3 degrees in the morning. So I don't know. I did have to get a couple things to make some different dinners. And I knew Kroger had some of the stuff that I needed on sale. So I just went ahead and did that just in case I cannot get out of the home tomorrow to do my Friday fuel points. I just wanted to go ahead and get a couple of these things out of the way. Everybody stay safe. From what I understand, there's going to be a lot more snow south of us, which is kind of unusual. Usually it's the other way around. So if you're south of Cincinnati and Kentucky, make sure you stay safe. I'll tell you guys, the sales are getting worse. You know, a lot of you guys have been talking about this in the comments, and I wanted to save to talk about this in a coffee rant here, because I don't like going over a lot of these things while I'm in the store trying to, show the best deals. It's hard when you're walking down an aisle and you're like, wow, I just saw 5 things that just went up in price. I know some of the simple things that some people may say, well, that's not really that bad a deal. But it might not be something that you buy all the time. I pointed out Ritz crackers the other day because they're $4.69 regular price, and now the best sale that I'm seeing on them is $3.50. I hope they sit there. I'm not going to buy. I will not pay that price. That is ridiculous. There are just some things that it's like, maybe if we just let it sit there, maybe it'll come down. I really don't know these days, guys. When, and we've been talking about this since last summer. And honestly, we've been talking about this the last couple of years. We see these regular prices go up, and then we rarely see as good of a sale as we've seen in the past. Sometimes the sale prices that we see are what the regular prices were not that long ago, like I was just talking about with the instant oatmeal with Quaker. The regular price used to be $2.79. That is the sale price, right? Now they had a digital coupon, what was it, $1.49 a box, which was a pretty incredible deal. But as they're doing that, they're raising the regular price. So if you did not get that sale, you're basically screwed. And it's like, well, now who knows when the sale's going to be here. That's why another reason and an example of why I say buy the sales when you see them, because who knows what the prices are going to be like next week or even tomorrow. And now Kroger does these deals. And again, I know I talk about Kroger a lot, but this is one that we can all kind of compare notes because Kroger is all over the country, as far as Kroger-owned stores and stuff like that. We can compare with Walmart and Aldi and some of these other places, but most of those prices are usually all the same, unless we do see things fluctuate within Walmart produce and meat quite frequently, especially because of the up and down prices in the markets, okay? But, just all the stuff I seen at Kroger. I was kind of just walking around off camera today, and I'm like, dang, $9.99 a pound for roast. So if you didn't get the $6.99 a pound, and that's the highest sale price I've seen, right? It was still $9.99 a pound months ago when they had the $5.99 a pound digital coupon that you could use up to 5 times. Now that sale is $6.99 a pound, making it, a little better than $9.99 a pound. But look at the pop. Look at the pop. The pop prices are insane. And I'll tell you, if you did not take part in that buy 2, get 3 free deal, that's going to be a deal. Mark my words. That's going to be a deal that's going to be a weekend thing. You know how Kroger's doing this 2-day sale weekend or 3-day sale? Eventually, that's going to be something where you're going to have to come back, right? Because they're really pushing that. They're really pushing it for you to have to go to Kroger like every few days to be able to get the sale. I don't like that. And a lot of grocery stores are kind of moving that direction. It must be nice. It must be a pretty big luxury for Kroger to have to be able to kind of force that sale on people. But it also kind of shows us that we have to pay attention because you don't want to be left paying $10.99 a 12-pack for Coca-Cola. $10.99. I know it's been that for a while, and they do the, right before Thanksgiving, they did the buy 2, get 3 free, which is a pretty amazing sale these days. And then the very next week, you have buy 2, get 1 free. I mean, if I was shopping at Kroger, I'd be like, I know the sales usually before I go these days. I don't usually do the wing it anymore. Some stuff, but I try to look at things now. That way it makes it a little easier, especially with those terrible digital tags, stickers that they have. They're so hard for me to read. So I try to do so much research before I even go to Kroger anymore. And that's not just for doing like a shopping vlog. It's for myself shopping. That way I just know what I can get and what I'm going to get on sale. These things are getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. We keep hearing that, oh, this is going to take a turn. All the prices are coming down. I never believed that for a second. Not for a second. It's why I do this. It's really why I do this. Because, I want to make sure that for you guys, and for us and family and friends and everybody, that you know what you're getting into before you get into it. You know, and I try to display these videos in a fun, you know, entertaining atmosphere. But I'll tell you what, it's very frustrating when I go into Kroger or Meijer or anywhere, or Walmart's the one that frustrates me the most. It's probably because you don't expect it. You're like, wow, this jumped up another 30 cents. And then you go back to Walmart and you're like, wow, this jumped up another 12 cents. Like, what the heck? You know, spices are going up again too, by the way. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to be long before sugar. We've seen where flour has gone up in price. That's why I am completely shocked that we're finding deals. Meijer and Aldi both have their 5-pound bags of flour for $2.19. I don't know what Kroger's is. Somebody said they had Kroger for $2.49. I didn't see that. They're, what was it? It went up to $2.99, and now I think they're $3.29. I don't know. I'll have to check again. There's been some up and down prices on Kroger flour, but a lot of them are going up over $3, which they've been over $3. A lot of them have come down, maybe for the holidays, or maybe people just weren't buying it. That could be too. And I do think that's some of what it's going to take. It's going to take people saying, well, I'm not going to pay that extra 50 cents. You know, if it's something you really love, and, you know, if you, like Gold Medal, I'll get Gold Medal flour. I love Gold Medal flour. It just works good with me. I know flour is flour, you know. I like Great Value flour, and it's still $2.38 for a 5-pound bag. Now, it's been a couple weeks since I've checked that, so who knows these days. Things go up so fast, we just can't keep up with, we cannot keep up with it anymore, guys. It is just, you know, this is why I've kind of fallen away from chatting about a lot of these price increases, and just kind of just focusing on searching for the different sales, because it could literally drive me up a wall. It drives me crazy. You guys don't see it because I edit these videos in a way to where it's like, you know, you may not notice, but yeah, I'm getting really frustrated. I have had so many of you guys come up to me and point things out and tell me, you know, in the stores and beyond and just out and about, tell me about certain things that have gone up in price lately, and it's just like different medicines. You know, we don't cover a lot of things on the channel, but we probably should. We should probably cover, you know, we used to. We do sometimes. You know, like over-the-counter medicines, things like this. One of you mentioned that the Ensure, or no, not Ensure, Boost, kind of like Ensure, it's like a different kind, that they've gone up in price. The Premier Protein had gone up in price, apparently. I don't know. Some of these things, I know for a lot of seniors, you may be able to get, like if a doctor, like, I've heard from a couple of you that if your doctor provides or says that you need Ensure for the vitamins and stuff, you might be able to get it for a good discount or maybe even free. Now, don't quote me on that, but I have heard from a couple people who have actually had, not gotten it for free, but got a discount. And that's good, because the last time I checked, they were like $14 for 6 of them, or $12.90, something ridiculous. You know, I mean, it wasn't long ago, what was it, $7 for a 6-pack, and now it's almost doubled in the last couple years. I try not to let my frustrations get the best of me, but I'll tell you what, you know, after reading a lot of your guys' comments and a lot of things that have been going up in price, plus meeting a lot of you guys in the stores, and you get literally physically pointing things out to me that have gone up in price, yeah, it's sickening, guys. It really is. And at some point, what we're hearing on the news and stuff has to take action. I was driving the other day. I forget. I think I was driving down to the museum, and I was listening on the radio. And on the radio, they keep saying with these numbers and everything, they say grocery prices are coming down. They're coming down. They're coming down. And then they have these guys on the radio who are saying, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're going up. They're going up, and yes, they are. They are, and it's crazy that here we are, what is it, December 12th, 13th? December 12th, Thursday, December 12th, 2 weeks before Christmas. I know today's Thursday, so we got 2 weeks before Christmas. So, anyway, let me check my phone here just to make sure. It is December 11th, my bad. December 11th. Getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, because I was thinking 2 weeks before Christmas. Because Christmas is on a Thursday, so yeah. December 11th. And here we are talking about price increases in the middle of freaking December. Why? Why is cereal all of a sudden going up in the middle of December? We're finding sales, right? Just buy up the sales when you see them. Or you're going to pay $5 for a regular sized box of cereal. I don't even want to get into Publix. Look, a lot of you guys have been commenting and leaving me emails on Publix, and I feel bad for you guys. Because I know Publix prices are skyrocketing right now. I know they are. And I don't know if that has an effect or maybe a slow grappling effect up to the north. I know we have thousands of viewers in Florida for many different reasons. For our entertaining videos, you know, and a lot of you guys have chimed in from watching our Disney and cruises and all that stuff down in Florida, and are now watching our shopping videos and giving us information, giving all of us information on what's going on at some of your stores like Winn-Dixie. Notice I was talking about Winn-Dixie the other day. Yeah, their prices are doubling apparently. Now, we don't have Winn-Dixie around here. That's why we appreciate all the information that we can get through our viewers in these areas, so that maybe you can help your neighbor. You know, maybe if you see a crazy good sale or something. The only deals I ever hear with Publix are those BOGO deals, and if you ask me, they're not that great. They're not that great. A lot of people ask why I haven't been back to Publix or anything. I had one of you guys just asked me if I was going back to Publix. So you said you went there for your first time and you really liked it. Don't get me wrong. I like Publix. I love the atmosphere. I love the customer service. I don't know a lot about some of their products. The Publix brands that I've tried have all been good. The peanut butter was good, right? The bread was fantastic. You know, I mean, nothing too, it was just plain white bread. But I mean, it was good. You know, I don't say fantastic. It was a good peanut butter sandwich that I made in the car after getting a plastic fork from one of their deli things so that I could make a peanut butter sandwich and try it in the car with you guys. Oh, and then that clip messed up, I think. I don't think it ever made it into the video. I don't know. I had peanut butter everywhere. But anyway, you know, I tried a couple of their chip brands and stuff like that. But the prices at Publix, even in northern Kentucky. Now, I was expecting it to be a little bit cheaper, right? I think the Publix in Pigeon Forge was cheaper than the one I went to in Walton, Kentucky. Now, that could have been a time difference. Like maybe things had just gone up. That coffee that we're seeing for $15.99 now at Kroger, months ago when Publix first opened, that was $16.99, while that Folgers, the same Folgers coffee was $12.49, and then we had seen it go up to $12.99, but it was $16.99 at that Publix. Guys, it's not even, it's maybe a 45-minute drive south of here. Sometimes an hour, depending on if you're in traffic. Get a lot of Florence Mall and all that traffic down there. It gets crazy, but that's why I'm not rushing to go down there. It's like, okay, yeah, I'd like to see Publix, but it's going to be a time when I just really have a hankering for one of those awesome deli sandwiches. I did buy some of those white and chocolate cookies. It looks like a yin-yang thing with the half white, half black cookies. Those are really good, and nobody makes those like Publix. I know some stores have tried. They don't. The Publix, perfect. And really, those are like $5, maybe a little more. You know, when you drive an hour away to go somewhere, I mean, I'm not against buying stuff that is, you know, of much higher quality, and if it's just something I love. Don't get me wrong, I shop at Jungle Jim's. Jungle Jim's is ridiculously expensive, but there's products that, you know, when you eat it, when you look at the ingredients and this and that, and it's like, oh, well, there's a lot that has gone into this, or a lot maybe they've taken out. Right? Maybe some different things that they're not putting in the product that probably don't last as long, right? But probably better for you because it's not loaded with preservatives and all these other things. Publix is known to have really good quality stuff. So I'm not hating on Publix, especially since I am a little, but I don't know enough about Publix to really say, no, forget it, I'm never going there again. The biggest reason why I don't go is because it's an hour drive. Right? Maybe when they get a little closer, I'll check them out. But my point is is we've gotten a lot of comments and a lot of emails from you guys lately who have shopped at Publix lately, in Florida mostly. One of you was from somewhere else, I think it was Georgia. Somewhere in Georgia, you were one of our longtime viewers in Georgia was talking about Publix prices really going up. They're going up everywhere, guys. They're going up everywhere, and I'm kind of just pulling the alarm right here because, like I said, we're in the middle of December, and we're seeing the inner aisles. Everything that people have said to me that have gone up in price have been in the inner aisles. That means like baking goods, spices, canned goods, frozen items, like everything that you can think of that is in the inner aisle. So when you have your produce, the meat, the dairy, all this other stuff, a lot of that has still been right around the same price. A lot of that has stayed stable. We've actually been finding deals on some produce that we haven't seen. You know why? Because people weren't buying it when it was $2.99 a pound for a thing of grapes. You know, that's what it's going to take, guys. That is what it's going to take. It's unfortunate. If you do feel, you know, and people are going to say, well, we're lucky to have grocery stores and stuff like that. Yeah, we are, but they're making trillions of dollars off of us too, right? Yeah, we don't have to go out and hunt. We don't have to go out and fish. We don't have to make our own stuff, although I would say 90% of our channel here, viewers, will say, no, it's make your own stuff. And you should, honestly. If we all did that, we'd all be safe. Me and Jessica making meals all the time now. I know some of you are going to say, film some of them. You know, we're trying. We're trying to work that in, but right now we're really busy with the holidays and stuff like that. Still, you know, maybe have something like that here soon. I don't know, but I'm just frustrated because I know there's a lot of people that can barely afford to get by right now. And here we are with all these things that are just skyrocketing in price. Some of the stuff I went over at Kroger that I'm talking like, wow, look at this deal. It ain't no deal. It ain't no deal. It's a deal of the times. It's a deal of what the sale price was, or it's a deal of what the regular price was months ago. Excuse me. This is really dry in here. Cold weather's coming in. We got 2 humidifiers going though, like back and forth. So I mean, it's not too bad out there, just in here in the war room or in the office or craft room or whatever you want to call it. But guys, let us know down in the comments, what are some of the things you've been noticing go up in price? The thing is that it's not just been like small price increases here. It's been huge, massive price increases. And I'll tell you what, I've kind of prided myself on not having to use that terminology in the title of my videos over the last few months, but we might have to. I almost did for Kroger, but I used my traditional unbelievable shocking. This one was not a good one though. This wasn't a good, I know some people, you know, people say, somebody even left in the comments today, what was unbelievable? What was shocking? These crappy prices were pretty shocking when we've had such good deals leading up to Thanksgiving. It's the same crap that happened last year. Go back last year and watch some of my videos in the start of December. It's the same stuff. It's like they have you know they do. They have these numbers from last year. What worked? What didn't? What can we save on? What can we do deals on? You know, they're going through all these numbers. This is why it's like, I feel like my brain is set on repeat. Our videos are set on repeat for the year. But the problem now is, though, is that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. You see places drop things and you see these different sales. But it's like, while this is going on over here, these are going up over here. Get your ham for 89 cents a pound. In the meantime, you're going to spend an extra $40 on the stuff that you thought you were going to spend $20 on. See what I'm saying? It's like, if you don't plan and get the sales like when they come across and stock up. I understand everybody can't do this. You have to do this within the means of your budget. This is the way me and Jessica shop because this is the way, it's the only way you're going to really save money. That with coupons, any kind of coupons you can get. Paper coupons, digital coupons, any way you can save money, get that on top of the sale. And then you are saving an absolute fortune. And then you're looking at what prices were back in the early 2000s. You know? So, I mean, you can do that. But you have to be mindful of it. And you have to think, okay, I can wait for this deal. Like, if you're going to buy pop, you know, see, and even Kroger has put limits on this kind of thing now. Stores are now starting to put limits on these things because I assume when they have their buy two, get three free deal of 12 packs, people are going in there and buying, like, probably hundreds of them. I mean, if you're going to drink pop, right, if you're, why not? If you have the money and you can get them for $4 a 12 pack by doing that, right? $10.99, two or 5 12 packs for $22 plus tax, I guess. $21.98 plus tax. Say 25. So $5 a 12 pack, right? That's about what it would come out to. Maybe a few pennies less. And now they put you on, now they got limits on you. There's ways around those limits, though. You just have to, I don't know. Okay, maybe you can do that one without a Kroger card. That's why they do that, though. So it'll probably come up. I've never actually tried it myself. Let me know if you have, but it'll probably come up that you can't get that deal if you've already gotten your limit of, what was it, 2 times or 2 transactions. I'm not sure. That's what they've been doing, though. That's what they've been doing, like limit like 4 packs or limit 8 packs or however they do it. They're putting limits on it now. That's why I've been recently saying when we look at 10 for 10 deal, well, at some point it's going to happen where, oh, no, you got to actually buy 10. Well, at that point, that sale's going to be over. I think most people know that you don't have to buy 10 when it says 10 for 10, but it does say with card, $1. So you have to use your Kroger Plus card or it's going to ring in regular. I believe it's going to ring in regular price. I have tested that before, and it still came up, but this was years ago. Okay, I'm sure they're more hip with all the technology and everything now. So if you go in there and you try to buy 4 of them and you don't put in your I'll have to try that, see if it still works. But my luck, it wouldn't work for everything. I'd go in there and get one of those Bumblebee packs, 2 of them, and they ring up $2, and then there'll be another expensive item, right? Like maybe toilet paper or something, where part of that deal, and then you get that, and then that's not going to come off, right? Because that's my luck. But anyway, guys, just want you to keep your eyes out for some of the high prices that have been hitting the stores. Again, I'm kind of sounding the alarm on this. I've seen so much lately, and there's a lot more that I'm missing here, too. I've gone down the rice, the taco aisle, these kind of things. All of these things are starting to go up a little bit in price. I've seen the significant ones are the ones we talked about tonight, but we're seeing little price increases everywhere. They don't expect you to buy these things, right, during the second week of December. So those are the things that they are raising the prices up on right now. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.